which is greater than 1.5, which would also return to be true because 1 is less than 2, and 2 is greater than 1.5. Fact number 21. This is about string literals, which is kind of just like text words. String literals concatenate together. That's a fun word. Concatenate together. If you type in string literals separated by a space, Python concatenates them together. So, hello in single parentheses, or just hello space world becomes hello world combined as like one word. Additionally, to concatenate words, you could use plus signs, or if you wanted to have a word like repeat, like if you wanted hello, 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 you could use a multiplication sign for repetition. Repetition. And the last fact number 22. For and while loops